Hey everybody, my name's Dan Ward, and I'm a Senior Principal Systems Engineer at the MITRE Corporation. In this series of short videos, we're going to talk about speed in the context of defense acquisition programs. More specifically, we're going to talk about acceleration. To set the stage a little bit, here's what we're talking about when we talk about acceleration. Creating an environment where rapid is routine, where all of us look for ways to speed things up as a matter of course. That means the acceleration needs to be sustainable. It's not just about turning the crank faster until we collapse. In fact, it's the opposite of that. It means shifting the default away from tolerating delays and towards creating an environment that values and rewards and incentivizes and trains for decisiveness, for fast action, and for shortening timelines of our business processes. The need for speed and the appetite for speed is real. For example, in 2020, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force put out a paper titled Accelerate Change or Lose. If you haven't read it, I strongly recommend checking it out. Now, this is admittedly an Air Force specific document, but I don't think any other part of the DoD would disagree or is trying to move in a dramatically different direction. As sort of a companion piece to Accelerate Change, some colleagues and I recently published a paper titled 5 by 5. This paper introduces a set of 5 disciplines to help the Pentagon move into the digital age. The second one is a discipline of speed. We call these disciplines because each one is a set of behaviors and skills that can be studied, learned, and mastered. To go back to General Brown's Accelerate paper, he talks about training people to make good decisions quickly. This is a skill. It can be practiced and studied and learned, and I submit that making good decisions quickly is a pretty good place to start as we move towards creating an environment where rapid is routine. Speaking of starting, there's a pretty good article from the Harvard Business Review at the link on your screen. If you're not sure where to start, maybe start there. Now, when we talk about speed and acceleration, we want to avoid the superficial versions of these things. It's important to recognize the difference between being fast and being hasty. So we're not talking about a sloppy form of speed where we're cutting corners that shouldn't be cut or skipping steps that shouldn't be skipped. This isn't just about skipping the design phase of a project or not doing any testing or rushing through work that will have to be redone later. Instead, acceleration is about finding the fastest possible route to the desired outcome in terms of quality and rigor and professionalism. Step 1 in finding that path is to look for it. And let's be honest, we often don't even look. We accept the status quo pace. We make assumptions that the cost of speed is quality, or that going fast is the same as being sloppy, or that there's no way to go faster without making unacceptable trade-offs. These assumptions are worth examining and questioning. Up next, we'll talk about barriers to speed and strategies for getting around them.